The first two types of literary patterns that we are working with is the parallelism, and if you have not watched our parallelism video, I recommend that you do so now. The second type of pattern that is the main focus of the Patterns Bible project is the chiasm or chiasm. The chiasm gets its name from the Greek letter chi, which looks like a capital X in English. And when you examine chiastic literary structures, that is exactly what they look like. You have likely heard the phrase X marks the spot. Well, that is exactly the point when it comes to chiasms. A chiasm occurs when an author makes a series of points leading up to the thing that they want to highlight. Now, unlike the parallelism, with a chiasm, once the center point is made, then all the initial points leading up to the center are then repeated in reverse order. If we visualize this process, A, the first point, B, the second point, C, the central point, B prime, the second point restated, A prime, the first point restated. We can easily see why this form of literary structure came to be named after the Greek letter chi. Now, just as in the parallelism, when the points are repeated once again, we find that the text in question is offering a sort of symbiotic commentary on each other. Point B and point B prime, both by speaking of the same word, thing, or idea, is offering a commentary of either comparison or contrast of the word, thing, or idea that is being repeated. These structures have been around for ages and have been widely used by many authors to highlight the main idea of their text. A popular chiasm that many are familiar with is found in a speech given by JFK. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. If we diagram this statement, we first split the first and second halves from each other. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. We can then connect the repeated thoughts together by drawing a series of lines. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. By doing this, we create an X shape. So let's break it down in another way. Ask not what your country can do for you. You can do for your country. What is the focus of this statement? You. Are you focused inward on yourself, or are you focused outward? Pretty neat, huh? And there are examples of chiasms used in all sorts of situations. You've heard it said repetition aids learning, and this was the method that ancient authors used to drive home a point. So perhaps it might surprise you to discover that the Bible is packed full of chiasms. Each book of the Bible, from one end to the other, contains a series of either parallelisms or chiasms back to back, from one end to the other in varying degrees of detail and complexity. It doesn't matter which book of the Bible that you pick, they all work in the same way, and they all follow a basic pattern. And it is in this larger pattern that the true majesty and beauty of this pattern is found. So join us in the next video to learn more about the larger pattern at play.